The King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, also known as Ithra. At its heart is an open-air atrium called the Source, a space where past, present and future are aligned. Within it stands a unique sculpture, Giuseppe Penone's Source of Light. In 2011, an international competition was held to commission the artwork. A brief was created by Ithra and Public Art Fund.
During commissioning process, we had to research for local artists and regional artists and international artists. We did a book on identifying this whole index and seeing their materiality and approaches throughout everything. So we had to learn more about the artist.
The jury spent 2 days deliberating before choosing world-renowned artist Giuseppe Penone.
The jury of this piece of artwork were never in doubt. It was without question the best piece, and the way it's, I think, will be experienced once it's installed. I think people will feel extremely close to this piece of art.
It was simple, yet it had this dynamic movement into it. It allowed for numerous interpretations by the viewers.
Giuseppe's eye and his sensitivity to architecture is just at a level that was hard to kind of match in all the other proposals.
Each and every detail has been thought through well enough, and the engineering behind it has a lot of layers within the layer of the art and the architecture and the whole. It's impressive.
Born in 1947, Giuseppe Penone works in Turin, specializing in work inspired by nature, but created from man-made materials.
The site is called the Source, which is representative of the first well that gave oil in the kingdom. And his work is a tree that grows from the bottom and reaches towards the sky.
Nel deserto è un luogo di estrazione del petrolio, quindi c'è un qualcosa di... c'è un'energia che si sprigiona dal suolo e si sente questa energia e questa è un punto nevralgico in fondo per la nostra civiltà, per la nostra economia.
The artwork is called Source of Light. It consists of 3 bronze trees that hold up a stainless steel tree trunk in 12 sections. The hollow trunk will appear to float. The inside of each hollow trunk section is illuminated with LED lights.
Questo tronco vuoto è dorato come fogli d'oro a 24 carati a simboleggiare la luce e l'energia che ha l'albero.
A mirrored pool of shallow water sits on a surface of black stone, representing oil, the source of growth and prosperity for the kingdom.
In questo spazio è previsto dell'acqua, uno specchio d'acqua. Il fondo di questo è un pavimento nero scuro, quindi si creerà un riflesso.
The pool's shape reflects the perimeter of the source, which is a tapered square at the bottom of the ramp, a focused frame. A fountain display gives the impression of the statue emerging from mist. Giuseppe Penone began with a concept drawing and then explored which materials to use, eventually settling on bronze for the supporting trees and stainless steel for the central sections. A larch was chosen because it has many branches. The tree was cut into sections and carefully marked so that the sculpture could be reconstructed correctly. There are 12 vertical sections and 64 branches.
E ho iniziato a produrre gli elementi che abbiamo visto in acciaio inox, partendo da un tronco in legno, scegliendo i rami adatti per diametro e forma.
Construction took place at a bronze foundry in Tuscany. A silicon mould is made from each part of the tree. Each mould is then coated with wax, which sets hard. This creates a hollow tube which is filled with fireproof material. The wax mould is then covered with a fireproof mixture of plaster and brick dust for the casting process. The cast is placed into the oven. This melts the wax, leaving a space for the bronze. Molten metal is then poured into the mould, which creates the cast. Altogether, around 300 bronze castings were produced. Once cast, the branches were then welded to the trunk with stainless steel supports in places where the structure needed strengthening.
Ma il processo di fabbricazione del lavoro è stato complesso, anche perché quest'idea di creare una struttura, di creare questi elementi che sospesi nello spazio, però elementi che sono fatti in acciaio inox, quindi hanno un peso notevole.
Penone impressed his fingerprints on the outside of the stainless steel sections. Each is hollow, coated in gold on the inside to reflect the light to infinity. The sculpture was assembled in full in Tuscany. It was then cut into 3 sections before being shipped to Dahran.
We made a base plate, it needs to attach it to the ground. We sent a template from Italy to the center. They utilized that template to pour concrete foundations and make the rods very specific so that when we installed it, there were no issues.
Visitors walk down a 250-meter ramp, catching glimpses of the artwork before finally seeing it in its full glory.
When they go to the bottom, they can see it completely, and they can actually stand underneath it and look through this sculpture toward the sky. That is the reward. They can see an angle that they can only see only when they reach down there.
The work just functions on so many different levels. It's beautiful from all different angles. It's constantly shifting.
Visitors might feel an attachment to the space more, and they might make them think about how art can be done in different ways.
The sculpture of Giuseppe Penone will have a stronger relationship to people's memory of the place than the building itself.
The beautiful thing is we didn't know how it will look like. However, it met our aspiration and our ambition of having something that is tailored and site-specific to that area.
L'ho fatto con molto piacere perché per me è in fondo una sfida questa. È l'opera più grande che abbia mai fatto, quindi è un qualcosa che mi stimolava molto.